Good morning. Is my mic okay? Yes, just a few more minutes and we're getting into online with a friend of mine for a beautiful interview about yoga, dance, transition in the careers, and many more. Some fresh air of Dubai, and we're getting into it.
Seems funny, I just recalled this. Yeah, that was the 10th grade at school, and we were reading The Encounter with an Interviewer by Mark Twain. What I remember is the feeling about the title, The Encounter with an Interviewer. There was something mystical and magical about this for me at that time, and this is actually what I'm going to have right now, the encounter with an interviewer. Interesting to know how this will happen.
Good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are. Welcome to Yogis Without Borders, and we keep on introducing our team members. And today I have a real pleasure to sit down in such a nice setting, which is online, but also recording nicely in our homes in different parts of the world. So today I'm chatting with beautiful lady Yogini, my fellow team member of Yogis Without Borders, Elena Pikhulya.
Hello Diana, hello to everyone. Warm greetings from Kiev to Dubai.
Welcome.
So glad to see you and to meet you in this format as well.
Let's get into it. So as I briefly kind of gave a hint to our audience, you've done it all from being a business lady in the past, and you, as I know you've mentioned once to me, you've been running the construction company and development, real estate, and then you were involved in the international trade. And then, needless to say, you also were running the translation agency because you're also the linguist by your background. And in addition to all, after that, you've set up your school, the dance school, because you're also a dancer and you're a yogini. It's really a lot, and most important part, you are successful in everything you do. What's the trick? What is the secret?
Well, no tricks, pure work. But I think that actually, first, I don't see any reason to do anything badly. I think that it's kind of bad habit, doing the things badly, because we all want, we all hope for, we all cherish the idea of having a good life, and that's norm. But I think that having the bad habits and hoping to have a good life, that's a kind of contradiction.
Yep.
Yeah. So if you want to live good, then do things, to the best of your effort, to the best of your, of everything. I could say that first of all, I really loved everything that I was involved in. I was, interested in both the process and the result. Yeah, I was all in that. And it was great, doing the things that you love to the best of your effort. It doesn't make you tired. It makes you always want to continue because it's your life, and you don't divide between, okay, I've got the weekends, I've got the, the business days, I've got the holidays. Yeah, that's my life. Yeah, it's my life. This is actually the basic trick.
So if I can sum it up, it's literally understanding the principle of professionalism. Either do it well or just don't do it.
Do it with passion. As I wrote it, do it with passion or don't do it at all.
Yeah, I think it's even better, you see, because you are a very creative person, and we'll get into that part of your, identity and your creative soul, so to say, in a minute. But I think that can be also the trick, because for you, that's the passion. For someone that can be, proving yourself, proving that you can do that. I jumped into sales, for example, because I wanted to prove myself that I could do that. That's very helpful. Thank you for sharing. Now, because of this background and because of similar background from my end, from the business lady to then teaching yoga and all of that, these transitions are never easy. Really, speaking honestly, I know a number of people who've been dreaming, about changing their profession or trying something new, or even moving into some kind of a sub-sphere of their professional life, but that's quite scary. There's a lot of hesitation, there are a lot of doubts. What if it doesn't work? What if I cannot come back? And I can assume that, you know, we're all human beings, that some of those feelings you could have had too. Question is, how did you overcome them?
Yeah, sure, there were the questions, there were the doubts, there were the hesitations. I think it's norm, yeah, because of these processes, they actually, if you are deeply involved in asking yourself the questions, yes, you probably might get to that very right answer. But I think that we can, you know, just meditate a little bit on this and try to answer the question, what is the risk and what is that you have at stake? Actually, every step that you do in your life, it transforms you, it adds something new to you, yeah? And if you do the things with passion, if you do the things, yes, to the best of what you want to, it boosts your own transformation and it changes you. And actually, no matter where you go further, it is new you, yes? You've got, I mean that you've gaining experience at every step, at every stage of your life. You're gaining the experience that is finally making the solid basis of who you are. And this is the basis that you can rely upon wherever you are. And
right. So you don't start from the scratch. That's the point, that sometimes we forget that we think that we jump into nowhere, but the fact is you've already done it before in some other places. So remember about that.
Well, okay, it's also a norm if you know, change the direction 90, 180 degrees, and in 2 or 3 years you understand that, okay, well, that's not what I thought it would be, so maybe I should go back to some, not the starting point, but some of the starting points. But okay, even during these 2 or 3 years, you've gained some new knowledge, some new experience. You were not wasting time. You were doing something, you were watching the things from a different perspective, and this another perspective you can contribute to whatever new you want to do. So it's a kind of, it's all about the experience, and it's all about making the inner basis even more solid. I don't remember who it was who said that the higher are the branches of the tree, the deeper are the roots. And I think that it's a kind of concept, it's a kind of metaphor that you can have in your mind when you have these hesitations, that yes, going up and going deep, it's two sides of the coin, and there's always something deep in you that you can rely upon if you were having that background before.
Amazing. I think that's a very deep thought that is quite often overlooked, that we think that a new environment, the new profession, the new skills that scare us, that kind of attract us but also scare us, can be bigger than us, can be too overwhelming. But in fact, we forget, you know, that how much of strength and that passion we have inside. And once again, I can just point out that for you, probably the passion is the driving force in life, looks like, because, you know, that's your fire, that's your drive, and that's your strength.
Yes, passion and creation. Actually, I just remember the feelings that I had after some certain stage of my life, that yes, in all the things that I was doing, that was a great job. I loved my teachers there, but I always played a kind of, you know, the role of a mediator between the architects and the customer, between the buyer and seller, between the, you know, the author and the reader in another language. And it was great. I think that it was a very fantastic process of learning. But at some point I felt inside that actually there was something, yes, that I wanted to create. So yes, being a mediator is great, but there was a feeling that there is something inside, some of my looks, some of my ideas, some of the way I wanted to communicate with people, and I wanted to create it from myself. Another good thing here is asking yourself the question, what you want in this world people to have. Yes, I want people to see us, to see more beauty. I want people to understand things from a different perspective, to understand their life, to delve deep into their emotions, into their bodies. And I felt this passion in myself, and I understood that this was actually what I want to teach people, and that is what was the background of that shift.
So this story is quite inspiring, and based on how important and how big is dance in your life, and probably you see similar notions or sentiments in lives of your students that you teach dance. So my question is, do you think that the dance can be a self-sufficient way of spiritual development?
Yeah, that's a very good question. I think that we can start from just maybe discussing what is the development, and I think that development is a kind of is the process of gaining the things. I mean the ideas, the skills, the knowledge, the emotions that you've never had before by managing something new. So actually development always involves self-transformation. And I think that some issues of the transformation can be derived from dancing. What I mean is that, okay, maybe in some years of your very successful career, you understand, I'm a great solo dancer. Yes, when I go at stage, all eyes on me, and I love this. And then you understand that, oh, but I cannot dance in a group somehow. Yeah, I don't want to. I don't feel myself comfortable in dancing in a group. And if you're self-conscious enough, you might think that, oh, I think that maybe I can, look into this field, and maybe I should go try dancing in a group. Yeah. Or maybe, yes, you're dancing, you're a group dancer, you dance with girls, with ladies, and then you sort of understand that, oh, but partners dance, this is not for me. And you think that, wow, why not for me? Okay, I've got some issue about dancing with a man. Oh, maybe that's what I should start doing. Change, maybe take another style and the tango or some other kind of partners dancing. And this is actually the way of development. You gain something new. Yes, you give up some previous ideas of yourself. You give up some habits. They were pleasant, they were customary, but they are habits, yes. And I think that mastering new habits is also one of the methods of transformation. And so you start doing new things that you actually thought that you are not very likely to want and to have. And I think that this can be treated as a transformation, and dance, shifting the dance styles, finding the absolutely new dance style. That's a good way in self-development. And for the spiritual development, you need yoga. Yeah, you need some more thinking, more knowledge, more pondering on your emotions, more getting inside of your mind. Yes, your ideas, your mindset, and trying to figure out what's that in that part, yes, of your body that actually stops you from giving up the old habits and going to some new directions.
So if I got it correctly, it means what is the biggest differentiator between development and, as you just said, spiritual development, is that methodology which should be there. Because as you said, you can gain new skills as a dancer, you can develop this tricks or that tricks, but it's not necessarily shifting your worldview, as you said, or your mindset, or even how you feel yourself from deep inside, or how you see others around you, as you said, team members, partners you dance with. So, and this is exactly, I think, why you're so successful, because you have this two of your very important pillars of your your inner self, which is the dance, but also the yoga. I think that's a very unique. That's a unique combination. Lucky students of yours are. Now, we slowly shifted the gears into the yoga part. And, you know, this is huge. Like, this is all of you. Like, you are very visual, you are very creative. And you also bring it into the way you do yoga, the way you teach yoga. But the question is, actually, what is yoga for you?
Yeah, I think that we can talk for hours on this topic, but yes, to put it not in the nutshell, but to get the most important issues. Well, I think that right now yoga, yeah, it's a lifestyle. Yeah, it's a sort of life standard. I think that it's kind of a global perspective from which you see, or at least try to see, the world and communicate with the environment. It involves both emotional, mental, physical work, and it comprises very wide ideas, a very wide range of ideas and forms, and it gives you more variabilities in interaction with the people and the world around you. But maybe it's the most important thing that it brings you closer to your inner self, and it makes you more genuine, more genuine in your communication with the world around you, more sincere.
You are very actively involved in, if I may say, fusing and connecting these two worlds of yours with the dance and the yoga, to the extent that you've even is a part of such a new style of yoga which is called Natya yoga, yoga for dancers. What's the idea behind it? Why, you know, anyone who's seen a dancer on the stage thinks she's perfect, and you know, anyone who saw you on the stage, the way you move, the way you feel your body, why would a dancer need a special style of yoga?
Well, any dance, it involves, you know, the physical and the emotional part, and the body and the emotions, they are interconnected through the so-called psychosomatics. And in terms of physics, in terms of somatics and bodily practices, in 5-10 years of doing one and the same dance, actually you might feel the way your body changes in compliance with the dance style, because all dance styles are different. They involve different body parts. They involve some muscles, yeah, some muscle groups are over tensed, yeah, over toned. Some others are always relaxed and released, yeah, because it depends upon the style. And if you are a hard worker, then you will see that, okay, the body starts, losing that the balance. Maybe not that obviously to others, yeah, but I think that inside yourself you feel it, yes, that even if you close your eyes and you ask yourself the question, who am I in my body, yeah, you might feel that me is my arms, yeah, or me is my hips, or me is my chest or wrists, or whatever it is, and actually it looks like the distribution of the muscular strain and the distribution of energy throughout the body in every dance is different. But we all love balance, yeah. Even, okay, maybe sometimes we want to go to extremes, and it's also a norm. But I think that, feeling the balance within your body and within your emotional field, it's a very pleasant experience. So actually, the main idea behind Natya yoga is you work with groups of muscles, with parts of the body that are not involved in your native dance style.
But does it mean that every dancer, depending on his style of dance, would need a specific part of this practice?
That's exactly so, and we, the instructors of the Yoga Federation, of the Dance Federation, we are right now developing this style, the Natya yoga for tribal dance and for flamenco, for heels dance and for hip hop, because the exercises, the asanas and the pranayamas, yes, the physical, the bodily and the breathing techniques, they would be different. And Indian dancing and maybe some Ballet dance, and this would be different. So every dance style just needs its specific part of Natya yoga, so specific set of exercises. And then
incredible.
But the second part is also about emotions, yes, because it's the same. Inside your own dance, you are more or less always tuned onto one and the same emotion.
Depending on the style,
yes,
right?
Yes. So I think that the mood, the attitude of a hip hopper and that of a belly dancer, they are different, and you get used to this emotion. And so some acting techniques, yes, some techniques that involve some emotional patterns, shifting the emotional patterns, they are also a part of the Natya yoga practice. So it's about, yes, the body and the emotions.
I think it can be some sort of a very, as you said, positive revolution in the world of dance, and knowing what you are part of, and I'll briefly introduce that as well, the part of the story. I think that can get really global, because you and your other colleagues, dancers and yoga teachers, you're also a part of the International Dance Congress, which is an international non-profit organization, also I believe part of UNESCO branch, right? And it's an umbrella organization which supports all styles of dance, and you would tell better. And knowing that you are part of such a big world movement, if you will, a philosophy, whatever you call it, I'm really kind of looking forward how you can then introduce this very deep view on the dance, on the development, on yoga, into kind of that arena, into that platform. And going into that direction, CID, they also take that role in preserving the culture, preserving different styles of dance, the heritage of the society, of the humankind. Now, it's the year 2021. We couldn't believe we could do something like this a year ago, and now we figured it out, because everything is changing. My question is, based on how fast we as a humanity develop, does it make sense to preserve anything? Because tomorrow it will change anyway. What's the point, really? Even the dance, like your own videos that I've seen, that's a fusion, that's a mix of styles, that's always something kind of, you incorporate something new and you mix the stuff. So what's the point of preserving the heritage? Why?
What's the point of learning history? Because it influences the way you progress to the future. So I think that the basic idea about preservation of the culture, the dances, it's to see the way people and the mankind changed through the centuries. I think that it's a very nice way of learning the true history. Because, learning the history by dates, wars or something like this, this can be given from different perspectives, yes? Any historical event can be represented through different perspectives. And somehow, so you may see, yes, the world in its progress from one way only. But culture, people, their lifestyle, and dance is obviously a very essential part of the lifestyle. They tell the truth. So by learning the dance, learning the old dance, ancient dance, medieval dancing, you see the way people transformed not only in their bodies, but in their ideas as well. And this is a more, this is closer to history, to the real history, than the way we may have learned it from schools. Or on the contrary, this is once again this very, the roots, yes, you can, so why inventing the bicycle once again? You've got the bicycle in the past, it has already been invented. So using what has already been introduced in different cultures, or seeing some aspects of the other cultures, yes, that can be incorporated in your own culture, maybe through dance. I think that it's a very good idea, because all these projects are actually about expanding the mind, expanding yes, the worldview. And another idea of why I love the cooperation with the International Dance Council so much, for me, if we have the Yogis Without Borders, for me, we are the dance without borders. Yes, because bringing cultures together, bringing dance cultures together, this is actually as pushing the limits and, canceling the borders between cultures, between people. And that's one of the ideas in which we coincide, in which we, come in contact, come in touch. So we actually share the same ideas in yoga and in dance. I think it's kind of very harmonious, setting.
Wow, that's quite interesting, really. I never thought about it from that perspective, because obviously I'm not a dancer. So I think this can be an eye-opening for someone who, never tried dance, or other way around for dancers, but didn't have a yoga experience. So that's connecting the worlds together without the borders. Now, as I just said before, I love watching your videos, and I remember back when I lived in Ukraine and I saw you performing on the stage, and it's always something, you never know what to expect from you, and that's, I think, the best part, because you can come dressed as a man with some kimonos and like very Asian looks with the fake beard, and next time you would be very sensual, slow music, slow moves. And the point is that quite often you mix the tracks. It will be fast and then slow and then romantic and then very kind of high speed. So you are constantly transforming and mixing things. If I may say so, in my view, you're very, you're a big reformer, or you like reforming things, transforming things. And as you said, as a mediator between the styles, the centuries, you name it. The question is, based on such, I think, part of your nature, is there anything you would like to change in the world of dance, to transform?
Yes, because I think that transformation, yes, it's a part of history, and I very much love the words. I think it was Nietzsche who said that one repays a teacher badly if one always remains nothing but a pupil. So who is a teacher? Yes, a teacher is someone who introduces something new into the tradition, and I think that this is actually the way the tradition develops. And I think that maybe what can be what we would like to change, and maybe just start doing it by introducing these techniques in our dance federation gatherings and so on. Is that actually going beyond your own style in terms of communication, because as it usually happens, okay, we have this dance style, you have this concert, this festival, yes, the tribal fusion festival, the hip-hop festival, and all we see and all the people we see are inside our own style. So it's like a self-closing system sometimes. And I think that the best thing what we can do about just developing the world dance is bringing people together, yes, bringing styles together. It gives a totally different feeling. You start understanding people better. You start seeing people behind the moves, people behind the dance. So actually, it really, you go beyond your traditional scopes in terms of understanding more about the world around you. And I think that this is what we need right now. Yes, not preserving the tradition within your style, introducing the innovations into your style, but also going beyond your style.
That's a nice answer. Now, same question. What would you change in the world of yoga?
Oh.
I wouldn't let you go without this one, because someone who loves to transform things just cannot zoom in into one area and think, okay, that's my field. You know, if someone who is a changer, a change maker inside out will spot something else around.
Sure, yoga is a very wise, very ancient, very self-sustaining system, and it's rather maybe not difficult but challenging, yes, and interesting to do some introductions, yes, to do some contribution into this very tradition. It's not even maybe changing the yoga, yes, but changing the way people do and treat yoga, the way people see yoga, because this is also it will also change maybe the yoga as is further on. What sometimes happens is that people think that, okay, yoga is a kind of 2 weeks retreat next to the ocean, and you sit under the palm trees, and yes, you watch the ocean.
Relax.
Yes, you you do the Chandra, the Surya Namaskar in the morning, and Chandra Namaskar in the evening, and in between you drink the masala tea and coconut milk and the world, and you keep sending your inquiries to the universe, and that's great. But yes, but this is not only yoga, and this is and there are so many other aspects and issues within yoga. And just what I would like is that people to see that there are other aspects, not to close their eyes, and to understand that, okay, sometimes prior to sending the inquiries to the universe, yes, maybe you've got to learn finding the common grounds with the people in front of you, yes, or sometimes getting in conflict with the people in front of you, if this is what you need. Because there are, okay, if you take the classical system, there are the classical chakra system, yeah, there are 7 chakras, yes, and there are different ways of expressing yourself into the world, and all these ways must be mastered. Sometimes yoga is learning how to speak. Sometimes yoga is learning, yes, to feel the people. Sometimes yoga is learning how to fight. I mean, fight maybe, yes, maybe even physically, yeah, or by words, yes. So yoga is reading books, yes. Yoga is discussing the philosophical ideas. This is all yoga. And what I would like people not to get the easiest, yes, okay, I love this part of yoga and I will do this, yes, but this one, no, this yoga is not for me. This is not effective, yeah, this is not progressive, because yoga is a complex and we need to see all parts of it. We need to want practice all parts of the issues that it comprises. And this is maybe what I would like to one of the ideas that I would like to distribute about yoga to people.
I wouldn't say better, because this is exactly what drives me nuts. Honestly speaking, you know, this oversimplification, this, well, not necessarily commercializing, but you know, to commercialize something, to sell it, you need to simplify it, to break it into very easy and attractive pieces for whatever is it, retreats or something. But indeed the tradition is much bigger, and this is why, to the extent we also do these interviews, because I think these ideas are really worth sharing and spreading, and connecting the different worlds of the dance, of yoga, but talking from the perspective of development, of tradition, really. And this is what I'm so passionate about. And yes. So one of the few last questions before we get into the blitz, personal. Because in addition to all of your professions and everything you've done and everywhere you've been, you're also a very beautiful and charming mom, and you have a young son. Question is, would you consider ever teaching him yoga or maybe and dance? Why yes? Why no? I have same question. I have a daughter, and sometimes I think yes, sometimes oh no, never. Currently, what are you standing on? Yes, no, maybe.
Sure, I'd love to teach them to be on friendly terms with his body, because this is what I love, yes, feeling the body. And if he chooses to do it by dancing, why not? We may not coincide in styles, but at least, having this freedom of expressing yourself by the body, I think that at least even if it is important, no matter what kind of dance style you practice, and even if you're not a dancer, it's also a very pleasant part of the self. As for yoga, well, sure, I think that yoga and kids, it's a very interesting aspect, because, of course, it's not like, okay, guy, you're 18 years old, yes, come here, my son, sit, and I will pass you now the teaching of yoga. That's not the case, yes. I think that you teach your child yoga by actually practicing yoga in your life. On the one hand. On the other hand, sure, if he asks questions, if we need to discuss some situation that happens, sure, I'm not calling this, yes, okay, I will right now tell you how this looks from the point of yoga. No, I just talk to him, but this very way. So I try not to simplify the things that happening. Yes, I'm trying to talk to him about some emotional background and emotional aspects of these situations. I try to discuss some things with him. So actually, I'm in a way teaching him yoga. Yes. Mildly, yes, very
by being you.
Yes, yeah, sure.
Inevitably,
and,
you'll teach him.
If he chooses, yes, when he is, when he comes out of age, and when he, if he makes a self-conscious decision that he wants to to practice yoga, sure, that I'll be glad. But I think that I would love him to have another teacher, another instructor. So by that time he will already get everything of mine, yeah. So okay, let him get something of somebody else, and maybe somebody from the team. Maybe he can be your student in 10 years. Who knows?
Wow. Yeah, you never know, actually. And my daughter will be yours.
Yes,
that would be
why not?
A good mix. A good mix, indeed. Now, we are getting into the blitz, and this is the first time I'm going to ask 3 questions very briefly, and, try to answer whatever comes into your mind. First, if you could describe in 1 sentence what's the specifics of your method or style of teaching yoga?
By highlighting the beauty and the elegance to the world, to the students, and inspiring them to be a part of this beauty and to create the beauty themselves.
Whoa, that's deep. Question number 2, what is beauty for you?
Well, I mean that sometimes it is the result of routine and hard work, and I mean everything: physical, emotional, behavioral, mental, verbal, creative, communicational. What I mean is that being on friendly terms with the people is very elegant. Yes, developing a strategy is a sophisticated process. Any genuine emotion is beautiful, and this is the beauty.
I think that should get into some vocabulary, because I'm sure so. Nobody said it before. And I absolutely love this view on the beauty as a self-discipline in a way, which is not that obvious, but it's absolutely true. Now, question number 3. You fall in love by seeing, hearing, touching, or, like feeling something in your body.
First hearing, then touching in the rhythm, getting into the rhythm, and then watching and smelling. I love perfumes. I love perfumes.
Okay. But the first comes, so you are more perceiving the world first of all through the sounds, the music. That's what turns you on, for example, for the dance or for...
Yeah, it can be even water in the shower. You hear some rhythm in the water and you start da-da-da. Oh, that's a nice move.
So I think there are two kind of people in the world: the one who dance in the shower, and that's you definitely, and the ones who sing in the shower.
Me as
Okay,
well, me as well.
That was a very interesting and very inspiring conversation. Is there anything else you want to wish to our listeners, the ones who's watching this video from all over the world, dancers, yoginis, yogis, not, doesn't really matter. What would be your wish to our international audience?
Well, the wishes may be try to find something that really inspires you. And go after it, go after this inspiration, because it is beauty, it is your beauty, it will be your beauty that you would want to see and become a part of. So try to find the people who inspire you, the actions, the fields, the spheres, the places, and I think that this having this inspiration and wanting to be close to this beautiful form will definitely change you in this or that way.
Beautiful. I think that's the high note that unfortunately we have to end this interview because we're ending with the highest possible, I think, and beautiful summary of what you teach, of what you practice, and what you chase of the world, the beauty, the transformation through the eyes of the passion, through the eyes of inspiration. It was an immense pleasure. Thank you so much for doing this.
Thank you very much, and I was very glad and happy and inspired to answer to your questions. I hope that, I'm sure that it will be passionate, beautiful video interview.